Hello out there, guys. Welcome to another devotional on Hump Day. Glad that you looked in, and let's get started. Start out with a saying. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I hated that saying. I hated it. We used to use that saying when I was a kid back in the day, and it just never worked. And like I say, I hated it. Hey, I want to introduce you to a buddy of mine right here. He said he wanted to help me out on the, over here, Dingo, look at the camera. And anyway, he's going to try to help me with this video. I was studying James 3, and in James 3, it talks about the tongue. And I just want to clarify something before I start reading, before I get into it, that I have the worst problem in the family probably of everyone. So this was more for me probably than you guys. But let's get started. James chapter 3, verse 3. It says, when we put bits in the mouths of the horses to make them obey us, we can turn the whole animal. Or take ships as an example. Although they are so large and are driven by strong winds, they are steered by a small rudder. And so wherever the pilot wants to go, he can go. Likewise, the tongue is a small part of the body, but it makes great boasts. Consider how a forest fire gets started by a small spark. The tongue is also a fire, a world of evil among the parts of the body. So here in James, he's throwing these metaphors all around, like Nick Foles did a couple years ago in the Super Bowl. He's just throwing these metaphors around, and and it's true. And it's true that the tongue is such a small part of the body, but it can get us into trouble. It can build people up, or it can tear people down, depending on how we use it. You know, even with you guys that have families, and you can either raise your family in an angry way, or in a spiritual way, or in a happy way, just by the way you use your tongue. So the tongue is a powerful tool. You know, back in the military, when I was going to military school for a machinery repairman, I was flunking out of school. And they sent me out there. I'm not mechanically inclined, but they sent me out there to machinery repairman school. And I did all right for the first couple of weeks, and then I just started failing miserably. And this chief came up to me. And the chief said, hey, look, I've been watching you, Larry. I know you have the smarts. I know you have the ability. So I want you to give it another try. And I'll help you. And if you stumble, I'll be there to catch you when you fall. Those words had such an impact on me throughout my entire life. Not just there, which, by the way, I finished the course and I did pretty darn good. But it always, any time in life when I had issues where I thought, I can't do this, I thought of that chief and the words that he gave me and what they meant to me and how powerful they were. There's another passage in here in the Bible under Matthew 15:11, where this is Jesus talking, where he says, what goes into the mouth does not make him unclean, but what comes out of his mouth, that's what makes him unclean. So we can say things that basically are bad for us and bad for others and can cause us to sin. So definitely the tongue is a powerful tool. So our words matter. When I was studying for this devotional, boy, it's getting heavy. When I was studying for this devotional, I at the bottom had 3 things that were listed in the study Bible. And these 3 things I thought were really neat, and I want to share them with you. So the next time we think we want to say something and probably we shouldn't say, try these 3 things. Number 1, is it true? I mean, how many times do we get in the heat of the moment and in an argument or just say something to someone, and it might mostly be true, but there's parts of it that are not true. Number 2, is it necessary? I remember back when you guys played soccer, And after the game, I'm not proud of this, but after the game, I would critique you guys. I would critique you, and I would tell you what you could improve on, or what you did bad and what you can improve on. I didn't need to do that. You guys knew better than I knew what you did wrong. And I should have been building you up. I should have been pointing out things that you did right as opposed to what you did wrong. And that is a good segue into the third thing, and that is building someone up. If you're not saying it to build something up, then why even say it? So there's three things. One, is it true? Two, is it necessary to say? And three, is it building someone up? So as we go out there, let's use our tongue in a positive way. Before I get into the closing statement, though, one more thing. We are not perfect. Even though we watch this video, and if we do try to tame our tongue, we are not perfect, and we will stumble. And we will say things that we probably shouldn't say. But my hope is for the entire family to kind of think of the things we learned in this video and learned in the Bible, and use that to our advantage to maybe think before we speak, and to say the right things, and to say the things that will glorify God and build His kingdom. Well, that's all I had this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you next week, and say goodbye, Dingo. And Dingo wants to say, keep on being awesome out there, you guys. Till next time.